Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Paul, and I'm from the Closure Mouth Media. I'm gonna get straight to the point, but before I do that, I want to know your thoughts on the new guy, Matt James, because I've been hearing like a lot of stuff, a lot of negative stuff. People are like, "Oh, he's boring, he's bland," and I was really defending him at first. And like after watching this episode, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Maybe I'm bugging. Please let me know. Rip me a new one if you want to. I think some people are saying he's not good looking. I think he's very attractive. Um, I'm straight, but there's nothing wrong with being honest, right? But it's like, at first I was like, yo, like, what do you want him to do? Backflips? Like, my man is there looking for love, just like everybody else. Obviously, the women there have to go through some obstacles. Um, but yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into the beginning of the episode. We're at the rose ceremony, and you have Sarah getting dizzy. She's falling over, stumbling, all that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, what is going on? I'm like, you got your rose. Like, I don't understand why like you're losing it. Like what is going on? But I'm not gonna get too much into that because this whole episode is basically about her, and I'm gonna get into that later on. So I wanna really touch on like the Victoria versus Marylynn situation. That really upset me, man. I feel like they do this a lot for like entertainment purposes, and like it's fine, but it really upsets the viewer. Like, I don't know, man. They would not like me as a bachelor because I'd be sitting there like, nope, you going home, you going home. I'd be like, bro, like you see me and her talking, like give us some time. I don't know, I'm just straight up. But yeah, man, it was really sad to see Marylynn like she was going home, but I feel like they kind of gave that away through the coming attractions after episode 2 from last week, because all you would see is Victoria there. You wouldn't really see Marylynn in the coming attractions, and I was just like, all right, like I'm already sad and upset. So it's really tough. Like, you're going home because some girl wanted to waste her time, her extra time, because she stole it from someone else in the house, just to complain about another girl. It's just like, why are you doing that? Like, there's a bunch of girls in the house that have issues with you because you're so extreme, and no one's wasting that time. So it's like come on. But whatever, man. I like how they jumped into the first date, the first group date. That was like really cool. It was very sexy, erotic, but it was cool how they did it, honestly, because it kind of basically gave them a chance to write down their fantasies and desires all on a paper in a poetry style way. So I thought that was honestly interesting. I think Anna's and Victoria's were like my favorite, even though I really don't like Victoria like that. They definitely like took it away with how sexy and extreme their stories were. I feel like there was maybe a few other people, a few other women that kind of went that route as well. But I think Anna's and Victoria's kind of like stole like the cake with that one, honestly. I think after that, what happened? Sorry, I got like everything written down so I can remember. Yeah, so after the first date, the first group date, everyone's in the lounge, kind of just, they're enjoying their time. They're kind of just like waiting to talk to Matt, and we see Sarah. She's by herself. She's stressing out. She's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, if I can take this, this is so much for me. And I'm sitting here like, all right, yeah, like it's a tough process. Like, I'm there with you. Like, it's not like easy. I mean, I don't get it, but like I feel like if you're in the dating scene, you kind of get it, because we've all been in a situation, I feel like, maybe, I don't know about you, where it's like you kind of have to compete for somebody that you want, and it's not fun. It's not easy. Like, we get it. But I did not like at all her walking all the way across to, interrupt someone else's time. That completely pissed me off. I don't know if that pissed you off. Let me know down below in the comments how you guys feel. But it was, she interrupted, was it Anna? No, she interrupted Katie's time. And I was like, wow, like, I was sitting there like, if I was Katie, I would have been like, listen, like, you see me and Matt talking, right? Like, you're gonna have to finish. You're gonna have to wait until I finish, because that's not going down. Like, I'm not, like, no, you're gonna have to wait. Like, I'm sorry. But Katie was like, you know what, fine, whatever. I'll let you have your talk. I'm gonna go downstairs. And everyone was just sitting there telling her. They was just like, what? Like, Victoria was like, you need to go back up there. And she was right. You need to go back up there and get your time back because it got interrupted. She could have waited. She could have picked another time to talk to Matt, and she chose to do it on your time. So what did Katie do? She went back up like she was supposed to do. She was just like, oh, like, are you guys done? Because like this was my time. You kind of interrupted. And Sarah's like, oh, give me 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes. Two. I'm like, no. Get up. Get up. Get up. Like, I would have been like, bro, no, you got to get up. I would have been like, get up. Go over there. Like, so she was like, all right. Katie went into the corner. I think she pulled out her alarm clock and literally timed it for 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. So she came back and she was like, are you done? She was like, because, and then Matt got up with Sarah, which I thought was kind of rude because they were just sitting there kissing super loud. I don't know, Katie was sitting there uncomfortably. So I felt bad. I was like, oh man, I definitely would have said something. I probably would have threw a pillow back there like, yo, like, come on. Like, what are you doing? So, so whatever. Sarah ends up leaving. She ends up going downstairs into the lounge area. And she think in her mind, she's like, oh, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna kind of tell them what happened. So, they won't hear it from anybody else, and it just doesn't become like a weird like issue in the house, which I respected. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I definitely understand where the whole group like came from because you're intruding on everyone else's time, and now because you took like 10, who knows how long she took up there with Matt. It's like you could have did this on your own time. Like you could have. Like, why did you have to do it on our group date? Like, it was so rude. So I definitely did not feel bad for them kind of, like, going at Sarah. Because I was just like, yo, you need to hear it. Like, you didn't think about everybody else's feelings. Like, you saw what happened when Victoria did it. They didn't like her. It's like, why would you do that? Like, I understand you need reassurance and you're having insecurity issues and all that stuff or whatever. But it's like, just wait. So I thought it was really phony and fake how after that, Victoria kind of went after Sarah and was just like, oh, like, she was like, how are you? Are you okay? This and that and all that stuff. But it's like, how can you not see through the BS that she really doesn't care about you, Sarah? Like, I was sitting there like, yo, you can even hear it in her voice that she's not genuinely. She's being so phony by the tone of her voice. And then you see Katie come out of nowhere from the dark. And she pulled up and she was like, yeah, I need to talk to you. She was like, what was that about? Like, I don't appreciate that. And I thought that was... I think honestly I would have reacted the same way. I would have gotten in Sarah's face like, yo, like, you can't be doing that stuff. Like, that's not right. Like, that's rude. Because if it was the other way around, you wouldn't appreciate that either. So you have to figure out what's going on so that doesn't happen again. And then honestly after that, the next morning you have Matt James coming downstairs. He's about to talk to everybody, all the rest of the girls in the house, and Sarah's not there. It's like dude, like, she's not there. She's isolating herself. She, it's like all these emotions are like eating her up, and you're like, oh man, like, you're causing mad attention. So like the way I'm looking at it, I'm just like, yo, like, are you like eating this up right now? Like, like, what you're doing, So I was kind of happy that I was kind of annoyed that Matt went after her. But at the same time, it was a gentleman thing to do. Like, it was good that he kind of went to go see that she was okay. But I feel like he took way too long, and he left like a little. It gave like a little weird taste in Serena P's mouth because that was like the day he was gonna go on his one-on-one with her. So I was just like, all right, he's taking like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. He's being rude. He comes back. He was like, oh, sorry. He was like, that was like a really long 5 minutes. And I love how Sarah P looked him straight in his eye, locked eye contact, didn't look away. And she's like, oh, she was like, yeah. She was like, you took really long. And then all he did was smile. Like, what was he gonna say? Like, I mean, it was good that he apologized, but whatever. They go on their first date, their first one-on-one date at least, and it was cute. They go on horseback riding. They have a picnic out in the field. The donkeys come in. There's a whole bunch of donkeys coming in and interrupting the photos that they're taking of each other. So it was really cute. It was good that the date ended very well. There's no interruption with that, so they were able to she was able to get her rose, and yeah, it was good. It was a good date. Then I think we get to we get to another scene. We get back to the lounge area again with the girls, and Sarah's just not there. She's missing. We're just like, what is going on? So Sarah ends up coming. She ends up coming like what, like maybe like 10 minutes late. And one of the girls there, she's about to pick up the card and read it to read what it says. And Sarah sits down. Everyone's like kind of at this point like attacking. Everyone's like eating into her. They're just like, yo, I don't appreciate what you did. It was like, you need to figure out what you want. If you don't want to be here, if you're unsure of your feelings and all this stuff, you need to get out and go. And like, I was sitting there like, damn, like I really feel bad for Sarah, because I was like, she already had to hear about it like last night, but I understand that it still kind of stole like the spotlight away from the other women, and it kind of just put it solely on her. So I can understand the frustration from like the other women, but I don't know. Like, I kind of was just like, damn, like they're kind of going too in. And then Victoria, being the fake person that she is, was being, she was going off on Sarah, and I'm just like, damn, man, like, wow. So she walks away, she's crying, and then Katie surprisingly goes after her, and they have like this heart-to-heart conversation, which I really liked. I think it was really cool that Katie kind of put her differences aside, and she was just like, I want to see how this girl's doing, because she's really going through it. Like, I want to see like what's really the issue, especially because she seems like she's about to go home. So Katie's talking to her, and then she's like, yo, like, what's going on? Sarah kind of opens up about her family issues that's going on back home, and Katie unfortunately was able to relate. And so it was really, it almost brought me to tears, because I was like, wow, like this is deep. Like, it's really sad. No one really should be going through that. But I mean, obviously, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, it's just sad, man. But it was cool to see Katie kind of check in on Sarah to see how she's doing. And then what else happened? That was basically it, right? Yeah, that was basically it. And then Katie goes back to the group. She lets them know like what happened, because obviously they need to know. I mean, they don't need to know like her business as to why she's going home, but I think it was cool that Katie kind of kept it private. She was just like, oh, she has some like family issues she really has to take care of, and I just want you girls to know it's not that you guys bullied her out of here. She said she wanted to make sure of that herself, which was like really nice of her. And yeah, and then towards the end of the episode, she kind of breaks the sad news to Matt James, and he feels for her, and he's just like, yo, like, I understand, like, you do what you got to do. It was cool that he wasn't like annoying about it and was just like, no, you have to stay here, because it's just like, bro, like, she has to go home. Like, it would be sad if you don't pick her and then her dad ends up like dying while like she's on the show trying to win your love. Like, that's like 2 losses, So I think she made the right choice and the right decision. Because I know to begin with it was really hard for her to leave the house anyway. I probably would have stayed. I feel like a lot of people would have stayed, but I mean, like, I'm not judging her, or whatever. So it was, it's cool that she kind of stepped out, and was able to, try to seek love and stuff. But it was, I think she did the right thing. I really do. But yeah, man, at the end of the episode, we see the coming attractions of for episode 4, and they're bringing on 5 new girls, man. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. I think that's I didn't watch last season, but I heard they did something similar to that. But I'd be furious. I'd be like, bro, like, you weren't here from the jump. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? Like, this would genuinely piss me off. But yeah, man, that's it for my review. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you for watching, and yeah.